Hey everybody, it's Suzanne. Um, Today I'm going to make a cream soap, and this is the first time that I've made it, so you're gonna go through it with me, the anticipation of the cream soap. Cream soap is great. You can make a nice a shaving cream soap, and or maybe a whipped body butter kind of a soap, or just some kind of a bath butter soap. So I've got a few ideas going through my head, maybe like the little cupcake things for bath, and I don't know about, whipping it or whatever, but this soap is the one that you'd make, let sit for what they call a rotting period, like 4 weeks, and then stir it like a couple times, during the 4 weeks. Stir it like a couple times a week. And maybe like on the 5th week, you could whip yourself, you could use it. And then you put it in a storage container and put it aside. And then when you want to make something, it's like your own base. And I guess you can use your imagination, and you could make a facial scrub with it, just adding, some citrus and maybe brown sugar, and adding some additives. There's a lot of things you could do with this. And I originally wanted to make a foaming bath butter, and from the suppliers out there, I was looking at the different products to buy, and it's already, made up, foaming bath butter. And it has distilled water, glycerin, those are fine, sorbitol, that's probably fine, it's probably from berries, sodium cocoa, isothianate, disodium lauryl sulfosinate, sodium chloride, which sodium chloride I have in this recipe here, so that we know that's your lye. Phenolxylitol, tetrasodium EDTA. I don't know, it just didn't seem like it goes with all the other products that I make. So I came across this recipe online, and I thought I would try it so that I could have my own starter base for a creamy soap. So I'm not going to have you're not going to be a bar when you do this. It won't be a bar. It'll be in a tub, and it'll be creamy. It'll be like that. So as I was melting all this stuff, all the oils and that, there's a lot of stearic acid in this recipe, and it took quite some time to get it melted, and you can kind of see it. It's laying on the bottom. Well, maybe you can't see it. It's maybe not a good picture, but the stearic acid, when it's melted, it kind of like lays on the bottom of the crock pot. I have it on a high, and then your coconut oil and all that other stuff is like laying on top. Here's the lye solution. It's actually a mix of sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. So it's a mix of those two lyes into your water. So that's that. And I'll give you the recipe in just a little bit. Then there's additives, and it's a super fat. So I have all measured out. Well, I've measured out all my oils and all that, melted it in stearic acid, and measured my lye water. And because this is a hot process method, you don't have to worry about the two temperatures being close or anything. They can be added in any time. So then the super fat, which is your shea butter and glycerin, and some more stearic acid, which is super fatted later, and then your confectionery sugar and kaolin clay. So those will be added in later at the super fat stage, when after the trace and all that stuff. Okay, so if there's going to be any boo-boos, you're going to go through it with me here, because I've never made this. So, going to add the lye water, and it'll curdle when you do that with this particular soap. It'll curdle, and it goes through all sorts of funky stages. But it's nice because you can put it in a tub or a container of some sorts. And I always do this little setup here, straining it, and when I make my solution I use something like this just so I don't get a spillover. Always thinking ahead. Alright, so I've added my, now I got to bring you up here closer here. Alright, so, oopsie daisy. Alright, so you see how that lye water made everything kind of curdly and different. Different than any hot process soap. So, this one, I did a little research just to make sure so I wouldn't be, you know, freaking out when I saw like something like this. I'd go, oh no. But, and I am going to have to do 2 parts to this too, so I'll try to shorten it for, so this is not really beginner. This would be like intermediate soaper. Just because this is like so different than any other hot process that we're used to making. And I'm not really sure. Maybe it depends on your crock pot. You'd have to go by this, I'm thinking, anyway. But my crock pot's on high, so I'm not sure. But I think I would put it on low and let it continue with the cook phase. Alright, so well, that's a nice creamy looking stage. We're far from done. This soap here has a cook time of like 2 hours and 30 minutes at intervals. You would check, stir, and all that. So to keep this video shortened, because we don't love them long videos, but the long videos are really essential. I do have like 2 of them or 3 of them out there that are great for beginners because I don't skip anything and you go right along with it with me. But for the other videos, I'm going to try really hard to shorten it down, and we all be happy with that. So this just looks cool. Creamy. Wow. So, alright, well, so far so good. I will cook this 30 minutes, as they say. Cover it with a saran wrap, or I don't have a lid, but if you have a lid, you could cover it with that. I'm going to use saran wrap, and I'm so excited because this soap is going to be great for Father's Day. I'll get some shaving, some little mugs, and I'll put a nice fragrance in there, and make a shaving soap for Father's Day. So that'll be really nice. I'm really excited about this. Don't we just get so excited when we have a new soaping recipe? So, but maybe I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched. Maybe. I just wait before I open up my mouth. Okay, so far so good. I'm just kidding. So far so good. Cover it. Check in 30 minutes. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, check in 30 minutes, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to shut this off and see you later. Okay, so the first 30 minutes has gone by, and you're looking to get to the applesauce stage. And this is looking really watery. I'll just help it along and stick blend it a little bit. That always works. Well, it certainly is creamy, I gotta say that. And the other thing I notice is bubbles. So that's good too. You're supposed to see bubbles. And I will cover this and come back. Ultimately, it will get to a look like it's not going to be workable, but it will. I mean, just have to keep messing with it, but you'll see later. But it'll get to that really hard working stage where it's hard to stir. I'm not going to add the additives yet because it hasn't gotten to the applesauce stage yet. And let me just go over, before I pause this, let me just tell you what I've done so far. Okay. So, the shea butter is in here, and it's like 1 ounce. And I also added in here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is glycerin of 0.5 ounce. So that's in here. That's going to be the super fat part. So you just put that to the side. Okay, so in here is sunflower oil, 6 ounces, castor oil, 3 ounces, and glycerin. Now the glycerin, I measured, it's 9.40 ounces. That's what's in here, not to be confused with the 1 ounce you put in for your super fat to save till later. Okay, now the stearic acid is 16 ounces of stearic acid is in here, but then in here, in a separate little thing, you put 1 ounce of stearic acid. That will be added at the super fat part. Okay, and then here's the confectionery sugar and kaolin clay. So that will be added later. Alright, then it's 41 ounces of water into your water thing for your lye solution, and then 5 ounces of potassium hydroxide and 0.8 ounces of sodium hydroxide. Alright. The kaolin clay is 0.20 ounce, and the confectionery sugar is 0.10 ounce. So that's not 10 ounces, it's 0.10, just a little bit. You'll test it with phenolphthalein, which I do in all my videos. I'm not going to bore you with that. Go look at one of the beginner videos, and I show you that. That's how I test it, to make sure that after cooking it out, the lye is at a neutral stage. Alright, so you start off, you have to do this like in like parts. Okay, so I've saved the super fat part till after this gets to applesauce. But you melt all your sunflower oil, castor oil, glycerin, stearic acid, coconut oil. Oh, okay, the coconut oil is 7 ounces of coconut oil. Alright, so you melt all that in here, and like I said, when I turned the video on, the stearic acid had melted, but it was all laying on the bottom, and the oils were at the top. But it took a long time to melt the stearic acid down. Now, stearic acid is from the palm tree, so this is vegan. So there's nothing bad about stearic acid, even though it says acid. It does come from the palm tree. Alright, so you melt your sunflower oil, castor oil, glycerin, stearic acid, coconut oil. Alright, then when it's all melted, then you add your lye solution. Okay, and then you stick blend to trace, and that's where we're at right now. And like I said, the super fat part, that goes in after I'm going to do the applesauce thing, but that might take a while. So I'm going to let this go another 30 minutes, cover it, of course, and I will see you back. I'm editing this quite a few times to cut down on the length of it, so I will see you back. Okay, I'm back. So we're into 1 hour has been the cooking time, each in 30-minute intervals, and I check it. And This is starting to do what, you know, hot process soaps do. It's raising and it's bubbling up on the edges and separating from the crock pot there. It's just starting to do that. And when you're doing the regular hot process like mine, the corners will all like come up. And this one here, I don't know if you can see it or not. I have a towel underneath here, but this corner is the hottest one. But so it's still runny. Well, knowing what I know, cooking time is 2 hours, and then you'd have to put approximately on that because depending on your crock pot and whatever. So you've got that to put in the equation here. So it could be 2.5 hours. It could even be 3. So it's nothing set that 2 is set in stone. It's this looks like, I won't be surprised if it goes to a 3-hour cook. So it hasn't done, it hasn't gone real fast. It hasn't, you know, gone from stage to stage real fast. So, but this is moving along because I didn't do this last time. So, excuse my elbow, I just realized, and I'm right-handed. Oh boy, that wasn't very nice of me. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean this off somehow. But, so, this is nothing that goes like really, really fast. And it's going to stay in this crock pot when I do get done. It will sit overnight, 24 hours, in the crock pot. And covered. And I don't know if there's going to be much to show you. Well, yeah, there is, because this is going to go to the stage where it's hard to stir. It's not there yet. Okay, it's not there yet, but you can see it's going there. And normally I use this whisk for hot process soaps, and I don't have to do this, but this is different, I guess. Well, not to bore you, I'm going to shut this off and pause again. And yeah, this is what you want. You want to get this lumpy, but actually applesauce looking. Right now it just looks lumpy. I'll see if I can clean that off better. But so I'm going to continue cooking, and I'll bring you back when it's doing something great. Well, actually it is. You see how it's getting thick, so it is changing. So that's good. So, let me just put this here. All right. so sorry for my elbow. I'm not very good left-handed, and you need to be strong. Let's see if I can do this different. Just going to move you over here. And I always keep a towel under here because I have plastic on this table and it melts the plastic. That's how hot it gets. So, let me just see if that's good. Maybe you won't see my elbow so much. Alright. I'm going to add the rest of the stuff here. That's the shea butter, the glycerin, the stearic acid, and the clay, and confectionery sugar. Now this is the part that when I was researching this, they said it would get to this stage where it's, you know, hardly workable. And then you just keep messing with it and it will go to the next stage. You just keep chopping it up and moving it around, and we should see something happening. Don't forget, this is my first time too with this, so, but I think you need a lot of elbow grease. I can tell you that. Stick blender would not work at this stage. And this is one of them hard plastic spatulas. It does not give, not like the rubber ones. So this is what you need. My crock pot is still on high. That hasn't changed. And thinking about where I am here, I still have another hour of cook time, so just keep going, I guess. It's starting to gel. Oh, and when I was reading how the other girls did this, they said if you did get stuck, like later, and it doesn't seem to, and you can't seem to do anything with it, you can add just a little bit of water, but that's to be determined. So this is, I don't know what happened to the applesauce stage. Maybe that first part, it was quick, but anyway, So this would be the mashed potato stage. And boy, oh boy, I can tell you, your arm gets tired. So you don't add any fragrance. You do add at the end, right before you let it sit, you do add preservative, germaben 2E, or that's what I have, and that was in a video that I was watching that was doing this. They use germaben, so So I've got this mixed up, but I'm going to cover it and let it cook. And I am so not left-handed here. Hey. Anyway. So what was I saying? So you don't add a fragrance or anything like that. Nothing like that until you go to use it. When you scoop it up to make yourself a bath whip or a shaving cream or whatever, that's when you do the fragrance. So, alright. Oh, you know what would be fun? Let me just see where this is as far as neutral. What do you think? If it's lye neutral. I think no. So you put a little bit on a paper towel, like so. And then to germaben, phenolphthalein. Let's see. Wow, that did not turn color at all. That is lye neutral. Holy cow. I did not expect that. I thought it was going to show up with some pink. Alright, so that's good. I will cover this and be back later. Okay, I'm back for another stir, and this thing is hot. Alright, so it really hasn't changed much since before. The lye is neutral, so I kept my gloves off, but you don't add your preservative, which is going to be germaben. You don't add that until tomorrow. So this is going to sit here in this crock pot 24 hours, and And that's about it. I have 30 more minutes, and I probably won't videotape it because it'll be just like this anyway, and then after it rests for 24 hours it'll relax a little bit and it should be a little bit more workable tomorrow. And so anyway, I will let this sit tonight, and tomorrow I'll do the rest of the video. Okay, have a great day.